Yo,
What up?
they didn't have two burgers and blitzes in a week.
You
Dog, we were
spoiling, yo.
struggling. We were struggling to get one for months and months, and now we threw two in your face.
When
Getting in
there's
the
actually
week.
something to talk about.
Yeah, true story, true story. Let me give a shout out to everybody in there that's been waiting. I appreciate it. All y'all, Mad 4D, M4N, that's my guy. What's up, sis? Raymond, what's good with you? Mel, my dog. East Harold, you know how it is. Everybody getting on in the building. Appreciate y'all. Miguel, the Ninja, Paul Grogan, Kevin Hicks, Marcus, what's up with you? Los, what's good with you? Matthew, what's good with you? Regina, what's up? What's good? Getting the building. You know what it is. It's burgers and blitzes. We back. And we just did our 53-man almost cut down right before the real cut down. And we was pretty accurate. You feel me? We was pretty accurate. You feel me? What up,
I may not have
Anthony?
been completely accurate, but I was right.
I mean, me too. I was right. I was right on a lot of stuff. I might not said it on the tape, but I was saying it in my heart, like, yeah, I knew it, but I can't jump out there and say it now. So I'm gonna just be quiet. You feel me? I can't jump out there and say it now because I'm like, all right, I said it. What's up, Ty? You feel me? Good to see everybody. But hey, what's the one big surprise before we show the roster? What's up, Charles White? What's the one big surprise for you for this 53-man roster?
We know what it is. They cut Landover Fowler. I talked about it. I got the first 5 minutes on Fowler being trash. You know,
He ain't trash. He's not trash. Don't do that.
I'm in the grieving stage. I'm lashing out because I'm hurt, and I may say something I don't exactly mean. So I apologize to Fowler, but I'm upset right now, and he's gonna have to just be. He's gonna, he can rub his eyes with that money. He'll be okay.
Hey, but I'm saying, he got 5 sacks in part-time duty. He was not a bad player last year. We already know his limitations in the run game. It's the same with kind of Dorrance Armstrong Jr. He's a more natural pass rusher. You feel me? So here's the thing. My surprise was they kept Fowler. I said they were going to keep Fowler. I was going with, but I went with you with the land thing, but I said they were going to keep Fowler. My surprise was Gallimore.
Yeah. Well, I kind of got worried. I kind of got worried once they cut the first DT and Gallimore didn't go with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's like, that first wave, I knew he was staying. If I didn't see him in that first wave, I knew he was staying.
That said, he still got to make it to September 10th.
I think he is now.
I mean,
because they're going to probably keep him strictly. I don't know if they're going to move him around, but looks like they're going to kind of try to keep him strictly at that 3 and keep ghosting him at that 0 and 1. I mean, it is what it is.
What is it with us and getting these dudes from OU who play like they're 100 pounds lighter than what they are? And they have a good camp and they show up and they just get turned and bullied all damn year.
But here's the thing though with Gallimore. He flashed in 2020 when Parsons rookie year 2021. He flashed because remember he got hurt in preseason when he came back. When he came back with a reckless abandon. I mean, he was playing damn good. And we were like, that's what we want to see from Gallimore. And we thought he had turned the corner. And then we saw like a regression last season. And it's like, which Gallimore are we seeing? Are we seeing the 2022 Gallimore? 2021 Gallimore? Or are we seeing the 2022? So with him making the squad, hopefully this is a situation where he's like, hey, I'm hungry. I'm going at it. And you're going to see a different player. And that's what I'm going to hope since he's on the squad.
With my DTs, I mean, let's be honest, unless you're Aaron Donald, that dude just ruined the expectations on what a DT is supposed to be. A good DT, you're not even supposed to notice. I don't want to I don't want to see you getting blown off the ball. If you make a splash play, good. But what I don't want to see you is getting blown off the ball, getting turned in the gas, which is what you see a lot with him. When you notice them, it's usually because it's a bad thing, because all the action's happening mostly on the outside until the play kind of goes all fugazi. But I guess he's here. I don't agree with it. Man, I thought he was good as gone. I really thought he was good as gone. But I don't know. They like their guys. What can we say?
I mean, hey, like I said, he didn't have a bad preseason this preseason, and he was playing a lot. He didn't. I know, and he did rep with the ones because when we started out, he did rep with the ones, and he wasn't playing bad with the ones. So you can probably look at that as maybe what they probably looked at, because it wasn't like he was going against the threes. You feel me? He was going against ones, twos, and threes, and he performed pretty well. So maybe that's what they looked at him, maybe turning the corner, and they were looking at that pass rush, and he can slide in different spots.
That's what worries me, is because I don't want him pass rushing. We got edge rushers. I want you to anchor. If it came down to it, I would have kept Bohanna. He's bigger. He don't get turned. I mean, we got enough tweener guys. We got enough of these dudes. Golston's kind of an edge. He's kind of a DT.
Even Osa. I mean, Osa got bigger.
They're both Tyron Crawford 2.0. They're just a little more evolved, and they got a little more tools in their pass rush repertoire. But they're tweeners. They're not ever going to be a full-time edge or full-time DT. So I don't know. When you're a jack of all trades, you're kind of a master of none, unless you're just really, 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 really good. Which, back to the Donald thing, he can live outside. I think I've seen that dude play safety one time. But that's not, yeah, so yours was Gallimore. Mine was definitely Land. I just, I guess I didn't take into account the Dan Quinn tie-in and how long he's known him, but I just watched that dude play down the year. I got some numbers for you if you're interested. But, he had 6 sacks last year. Only 2 of them were after November. He had 1 quarterback hit, 3 tackles for loss, and 4 hurries after week 7 last year. He doesn't play special teams. He played 4 total snaps on special teams. And when targeted, which I know this is kind of a goofy thing to say, but he still was out there. When targeted, he gave up 49 yards on 4 targets. And one of them was specifically that back-breaking one in the Tennessee game at the end of the year.
Yeah,
so I watched him play.
I tell you, let's get this question from Mike and Leah. Do you think them trying to force him inside here, and now that he don't have to play inside, had to do with him staying?
Probably. I mean, I guess they're really, really counting on. I mean, obviously they took him with a first-round pick. They're really counting on Mozzie and Hankins to stay healthy. Because I don't want him playing. I don't want him 2-gapping. I want him out there playing 3, and I want somebody beside him. Preferably, I want somebody blitzing off his hip.
Right.
And then, I guess that's the only way you could justify it, besides the fact you put a draft pick in for him.
Well, I mean, here it is. Well, we're going to go right here.
Okay.
Because I got the 53-man roster and just going through it.
Tilt my fan down, guys. Sorry, that heat wave kicked back up. Let me know if that helps on the background.
So we knew it was Dak. We knew Cooper. This is my Facebook page, y'all. Trey Lance, Tony Pollard, Deuce Vaughn, Rico Dowdell. We knew those.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter Luepke made it. Hunter Luepke made it. Now,
Yes,
I know you like that, but what's your thoughts with him being on the team? They got McEwen back on the practice squad, and we'll show that right quick. So what do you think? Now that McEwen's on the practice squad, will they flip it, or will they actually use Hunter Luepke, put him on some special teams, get him in some packages, get him familiar with the pro game?
Yeah, that's what I've been talking about for a while now. Fossil's always liked him.
Well,
Fossil's always
not to cut you off because I want you to finish. I just want you to say something right quick. When we had Clarence Hill Jr. on there, one of the first things he said was Hunter Luepke. Stephen Jones pointed Hunter Luepke out and said, "You see him over there, one with the ones. We like him." That's what he said. Now go ahead and finish.
Yeah, everybody in that building likes it. And then when you saw, this ties back, we talked about on Monday, or what was it? Yeah, Monday.
Right before cut downs, I talked about who was the OC for that last preseason game? It was Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
How many featured plays did he get? I know it ain't a lot, but for a preseason game, when you usually only get maybe 2 or 3 chances, he got some chances, and he capitalized on them. And Fossil likes him for special teams, and they like him for that zone blocking pennant pool like we were talking about. So when your quarterback's got your back, the special teams coach got your back, and I guess apparently the GM got your back. I mean, you in the building, ain't you?
Yeah. And we were just talking about with Charlotte Jones. She liked John Stevens Jr. and once they like you, you ain't going nowhere. You feel me?
That was.
And that whole situation just felt extremely weird and forced to me. Just because I call him John Stephen Jones, Charlotte Anderson Jones III Jr. You know,
it's like he's already a member of the family. That I could already picture him in the white linens on the beach, hanging out with Witten and Romo. You know, vacationing it up. So they were trying to force out. They were gonna force out one of the twins over that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't agree with that whatsoever. So it sucks for him, but I think it's better for the team that whole situation happened. I don't know which way to put it. It's kind of harsh.
I agree with that. I don't disagree with that. It's not harsh because you don't ever want to see a player get hurt. And so that's not what we're referring to. But the situation of it where you probably would have lost Hendershot if he would have dropped waivers. I mean, you just lost Isaiah Landon. We'll talk about that, right? He dropped. And Hendershot, if you would have let him go, he would have been claimed instantly. He wouldn't have.
He'd be in Kansas City by
and
been turning up, and been turning up,
because they need something. You know, that's dude. Tell me Andy Reid wouldn't go off.
Oh, Hendershot would go crazy, but he would go crazy in a lot of systems because he's a good tight end.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? He's that mode what people are looking at now as tight ends. He's a receiver, he can block a little bit. He puts effort in the blocking, but you can use him as tight end, receiver. You can use him in multiple different sets. He's a threat. So he had a lot of upside, but they're looking at upside. But it is what it is. Hendershot's on the team, and we're happy. Jake Ferguson, Schoonmaker, we knew, Hendershot. But let's talk about those receivers. We knew the five: Turpin, Tolbert, Gallup, Cooks, Lamb. But Jalen Brooks went through there, and the Simi Fehoko won't say it's over because I don't know if they're claiming him on waivers. I mean, claiming him on. I don't know if he's on practice squad because I didn't look at the paper.
I think he's going to Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. Well, then the Simi Fehoko
allegedly
is probably done, right?
Yeah.
And so what's your kind of thoughts about Jalen Brooks making the team? And I said before you finish that, Mike, I said all the draft picks were going to make the team like a couple weeks ago. But go ahead.
He's on my list. I mean, dude showed up at camp. He's a burnt dude. He was out there running. I like the jab step. I like the way he can get vertical. He was out there shaking and baking, and it wasn't just on Kelvin Joseph. He was out there. He got Gilmore. He got Diggs. He got everybody in camp. And then it seemed like Dak had the confidence to throw the ball wherever he, within vicinity of him go get it. And when you need another wide receiver and your other competition is Simi, bless his heart, sweet man. Sweet man. I don't want you on my football team, brother. I love you. I don't want you on my football team. You can't catch. I can't trust you. So that was an easy decision.
Yeah, I mean, it was 3 years in it. I mean, we had seen it. A lot of people were hoping. I felt before even the camp started or even the year started that he wasn't going to make the team. No hate. Like I said, Simi's a great guy. Hopefully he'll get on with a team and be able to, resurrect the NFL career or continue his NFL career. We definitely hope that. You feel me? Shout out to my sis for the $20 holla. She says, get 104 up in here. We need 104 likes. There's only 47. So sis has spoken. Get them likes up. Y'all know what it is. Appreciate you, sis, for the $20 holla. Hey, ho. And also appreciate the $199 holla from my guy up here. Let me scroll up there. JR, when he was talking about wish they would have cut Kelvin Joseph instead of trading him and kept Land. You feel me? So, well.
No. Why?
No,
Why?
Well, hold on. But get them likes up, though, number one. But when we'll finish. We'll hit that here in a second. But just finishing off of that, my thoughts on Jalen Brooks, strong hands. That's the thing I notice about him. Very strong hands, can catch in traffic, play strong with the ball. Like you said, he was cooking guys. He was cooking Gilmore. He cooked Diggs. I seen him get up on Bland. And, the only reason why I would say he really dropped to the 7th round, Mike, was he ran a 4.7 in the 40. Any receiver running a 4.7 is going to drop.
I didn't see a 4.7 receiver at training camp.
Neither did I. I saw good speed and functional speed, So if it was 4.7, it ain't on the field, right?
And like I said on Twitter, as a lifelong fan of Jalen Brooks, I Googled him 30 minutes ago, and I think he's going to make the team. I said that a few weeks. I said that when they were still in camp, before they even had a preseason game. But I saw, you see it.
Yeah,
everybody saw. You can't tell anything. You can't tell anything in underwear, which is true. But when somebody can move and they can change direction, you got strong hands. That's like the three of the main qualities you want to see in a defensive back or a wide receiver for either one. And the fact that Heath ran a 4.7, that is actually news to me. I did not know that. Yeah. That's not a 4.7 wide receiver that I saw.
I don't know. I don't know if it was just that. Let me get this question because it's blocking this out right quick. But this is my guy Mel. He said, if you had to win a game with Dak out, here's the thing. I need to see Trey Lance play some more, but would you rather see Cooper Rush, if he's out there, since he is because the Bengals scooped up Greer, would you rather see Cooper Rush out there or Trey Lance?
Who's the defense? I know I'm cheating.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I'm cheating. Who's the defense?
Like if it's like Philadelphia, nah.
No,
I wouldn't really want to see Cooper, but that's all we got.
I don't want to get one of them dynamic defenses against Trey Lance. I want,
they'll confuse.
I let Cooper Rush dink and dunk it, and maybe we can get a couple fumbles or something out of Hurts or something like that. But I don't want Trey Lance going up against Belichick or freaking dude that went to Denver or Arizona or any of those. I don't want any of those guys. But Arizona ain't got the talent, so not like it matters. He'd probably cook them. But yeah, I don't want
reps. Just like Benjamin Robinson said, he needs reps, and that's the only reason why I'm going with Cooper right now is because what's up, Tavis? Because he needs reps right now, and I just can't trust him right now. You feel what I'm saying? Just can't trust it right now, and he's just not ready right now. So just let him sit and learn. He's in a good place. He's in a great place. Dak is going to teach him.
Let him fix his mentals, dude. That dude's got kind of the raw end of it. He's got kind of the raw end of the deal.
Just let him take his time. You know what I'm saying? Don't put him in nothing. Just let him take his time because we don't want him to lose any more confidence, right?
No,
we want him to regain his confidence.
And like I said on our last stream, unless something absolutely terrible happens, you'll probably never see him actually play a snap in a Cowboys jersey. I mean, let's just be honest about it. Unless Dak goes down or they had the division wrapped up and they want to run Lance out there, in the second half or something like that, maybe. But the chances are you won't see him ever probably take a snap in the Cowboys jersey unless they really fumble this whole Dak thing. That's why I wanted to play him in that preseason game. When else are you going to see him? So,
well, it's going to be interesting because we need to see how this contract negotiation thing goes. It's going to be very interesting. I hear what you're saying, but I just don't feel like they just got him just because. I don't think they just got to try to develop him to flip him. I just don't believe that, Mike. I'm just not gonna believe it. I'm not saying I know the Joneses, but when they have an opportunity to get somebody they think that could be a future guy, I don't believe that he's never going to see the light of day in the Cowboys uniform. I just don't believe it, but I could be wrong.
I mean, hopefully he does, so we can get some trade value for him.
Yeah, we'll see.
But the reason I say that, because like I said, unless Dak gets hurt or you have the division wrapped up, he's not going to play this year. Right. And are they going to keep him next year? Are they going to roll it again? Or is somebody going to say, hey, we'll give you a 6-year-old Trey Lance, see if he can play in preseason, that type situation.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's logical. We're going, like I said, this year is going to be an interesting year and a half because I know the Cowboys are looking at this season too and seeing if this season is a failure or a success. Because if it's a failure again, I'm sorry, Mike. I think that's when it's really going to be talked about more than anything else. Shout out to my guy Juwan Jones from the $10 holla. Hey ho, says thanks for the show. Hurricane Idella knocked out my power. Who we letting go once Ronald Jones returns from suspension? They ain't keeping no Ronald Jones.
He's already gone.
They're not going to keep no Ronald Jones.
I do gone like yesterday's mail.
Yeah, I don't think he's still there. But shout out to you, Juwan. It's been a long time. And hey, be safe out there with that hurricane. Big shout outs to you. Make sure you're being safe out there. So now let's talk about. We talked about the tight ends, right? let's hit this offensive line because this was a surprise. They only kept 3 offensive linemen. Obviously, they got the guy from the Giants, so they picked up the 4th. They picked him up from the Giants. I will pull his name up here in a second, but maybe they already had that thought plan in mind when they saw. I knew your boy was going Brock Hoffman. I just feel like he wasn't strong enough in the anchor, and then also
My boy.
I was surprised about. No, I'm not saying your boy. I'm just saying your boy in general. Matt Faranock, I thought he was okay to make the team because I thought he was okay with center and guard, but obviously they were like, let's go ahead and move on. But any surprises on you with the offensive line?
I'm not shocked. I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm surprised that Bass made it just because they kept him and Richards. You know, I thought it was going to be one or the other. I didn't think they were going to run with both of them. But then at the same time, offensive line play is so freaking terrible in this league. Neither one of those dudes would have cleared waivers. So I'm glad they did it. I'm absolutely glad they did it. I expected them to do it. Like I put him in my 5. I put both those dudes in my 5 in. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I'm surprised both those dudes made it, but I'm happy about it. So that's a good thing. Absolutely a good thing.
Yeah, it was smart that he made it because I mean, TJ Bass's arrow's pointing up, and then like you said,
it's a surprise. Sorry, but it's a surprise. I'm answering the chat. It's a surprise because I didn't think they were going to do both. I didn't, but I also didn't think they were going to move on to Farney out because they've always kind of liked him. But I guess they just kind of got. It's kind of like the Semi Fehoko of the offensive line. It's like, all right, dude. Hey, like
we've seen enough.
We tried. You know, and then we lost Ball. I forgot about that. So that kind of
Josh Ball would have made it. I feel like Josh Ball would have made it.
Ball would have made it. He was a draft pick, you know, that sort of situation. So I guess keeping 2 kind of made sense a little more. So, but yeah, I'd like to see him since the first preseason game. He was actually my favorite player of the preseason to come from where he came from and to play like he did because he went up. He came right out to the fire and went against Jacksonville once and held his own. I mean, with the way offensive line play is across the league, you know it, bro. You do the draft. We see it every year. There's maybe 4 offensive linemen that come out, and there's 10 to 15 edge rushers every single damn year. So when you find a guy who has a glimmer of hope of playing as a starting, you know, even replacement caliber, you hold on to that.
Yeah, you hold on to that because offensive line play is tough. It's not you don't find where you think people think all these all-pro offensive linemen that just don't happen rarely. You see some strong ones, but more than not, you see a couple really good ones maybe, and then you see the rest are just kind of average and they just blend together. And then when they play together, in cohesion, it makes them look better than they are, right?
Absolutely.
So we talked about that. Sim Richards, we love him at the O-line, especially at that left tackle. He's going to grow in that. I ain't going to lie, Mike. That Matt Waletzko thing is bothering me because North Dakota, 7th round. I seen you the first game you battle. I don't say you try to, but dog, you just weak. You got long arms. You don't use them. You still be getting turned in blenders. The anchor is not there. Footwork still kind of bad. Need hella strength. What is they seeing in this Waletzko guy, man?
I mean, didn't they just IR him? Or did I read that wrong?
They IR'd him for 4 games. He's eligible to come
for the short. He's on the short-term IR. Well, it doesn't take up a roster spot. So if one of these other guys don't pan out, you can bring him back because he's on IR.
I don't want to see him in a game. I'm gonna keep it real.
I understand. I don't either. I don't want to see half our starting line in the game sometimes. You know what I mean? That's just back to the offensive line play. That's what you get with a backup offensive lineman. That is what you get. Is he a starter? No. Do you, like, worst case Ontario, you need to do to get a game and a half out of him or something like that where you can chip with Luepke or something? Sure. But I don't want him starting. But that's not the point. He never was going to be a starter.
I mean, even when he come in as a backup.
Yeah, he's terrible. He's absolutely terrible. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Wow.
I'm explaining the logic behind it. It's kind of the devil you know situation. You want to go get. I mean, they picked up that other dude, the practice squad guy, and they already cut him. The guy out of Houston that's been on like 97 teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just the way it goes.
Yeah. Well, and there it is. So, yeah, it is. I just don't agree with that. Well, let's go, but we'll see what happens with him. But let's hit this defense because I think we got everything right on there on the offense, except we both thought Farnock was going to make it. Did we have Hendershot making it and McEwen getting cut, or did we have? Okay, we did have that. So we were only off one on the offense, if I'm looking at this right.
Yep.
Yeah, we were only off one. So shout outs to us. I wish I had the clapper, but clap ups to us right now. Clap, 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 clap. Now let's hit this defensive line first. In particular, we know Michael Parsons, we know D-Law, Sam Williams. Get it together, Sam. We need you, dog. Dorrance Armstrong Jr. Heard there's some disgruntledness. Dante Fowler Jr. I know you didn't like it. I knew he was staying because I told you Dan Quinn likes him. Osa Ogadazua, Jonathan Hankins, we knew that. Mozzie, we knew that. Gallimore was the surprise, but we talked about that. Golston is the glue guy, and Fehoko. Now, are you at least a bit surprised that they cut Bohanna?
No.
Okay. Why do you think they cut him?
Because they think that Mozzie and Hankins are going to be able to handle it, which may or may not be. I mean, you took the kid in the first round. He's got to play. It's time.
He got to play.
He got to play. He's got to play.
He got to play,
especially a first round DT, dude. You got to play.
Yeah, because Bohanna was sixth. You feel me? Bohanna was a sixth rounder. You a first rounder. You playing all them damn snaps. And plus, you had a motor where you played a lot of snaps at Michigan, so you best believe you're going to be playing a lot of snaps.
He should be getting a 60-65% snap count, every bit of it.
For sure. So here it is, Mozzie. Show us what you made of. But what you think of Fehoko?
About the same as Land, I guess, if we want to be honest about it. I think he's got something down the line. Yeah. I mean, it's a rotational player. I just don't. The Fowler thing burns me. I'm trying not to beat the dead horse. I really am trying not to beat the dead horse, but it's just.
I don't know. You had two promising upside edge players, and you stuck with the guy because once again, I've always said Dallas and Powers are coaches, and we all know that Dan Quinn loves Fowler. It's the reason he came here in the first place.
That's why he stayed.
And that's it. But that ties back to, I guess other teams do it too, but I don't care about other teams. It's like, why are we letting? It's a business, dude. Like Doug Peterson cut his son the other day. You know what I mean? He cut his son. Like, it's a business, and when you got two players that got way more upside, and I would have kept both of them. I like Fehoko, and I wouldn't want to choose between them, honestly. So, yeah. Then then they kept Harper, which we want to talk about. I was glad he made it. I was really happy to see that.
I was screaming Devin Harper since my dog boss had told me last year about him, but I had really just been watching him from that point. He went on IR, but I kept my eye on him. I like the way he plays. I mean, he made some plays in the backfield. He was around the ball. He got a fumble recovery the first game, I believe. He's been around the ball. He's just active. I think he brings the thumper. I think he's a thumper type guy. So I love that. I love that addition. We saw Damone Clark, LVE. We're not surprised about Jabril Cox, and we'll show that here in a second who he got scooped up with. Now I'm gonna just say this about Cox, and this, and I'm not hating on no Jabril Cox. Please understand it, because I was all on it. But I made a video about him when he was coming out of college, and I said these are red flags the way he don't want to tackle. He didn't want to tackle at North Dakota State. He didn't want to tackle at LSU. Now the coverage, yes, you could see those traits and the size and the athletic ability. You could see that, right? But that tackling was a big issue with me because if you're not tackling in college and yet that's an issue, you ain't going to all of a sudden come in the NFL and start tackling. And I said that. And to me, it carried. Now, his rookie year, we saw that promise. Then he had the knee injury. We saw he had to battle back from the knee injury. But to me, I just feel like even when he was healthy, he wasn't – it was always a step slow, I feel like. He was not making any plays, impact plays in the backfield. You weren't hearing – and Jabril Cox with the big play. 3 preseason games. Jabril Cox with the big tackle. Jabril Cox on another tackle. You weren't hearing that. You were just hearing him be in the game. And I feel like, hey, if he goes to Washington and turns up, great. But it was just like 3 years and you had rookies out playing. You had a guy who was out all year, Devin Harper, outplayed you in my opinion. How long was you going to wait for him to step up and show that he was a player? Because you got to play now.
I think a lot of that, the lack of physicality is he's a brittle bone guy. And I think that he knew that if he started going there to light people up, he'd have to medically retire. He played soft. He had coverage. That's the one thing we liked about him. He had coverage. But Kirksey, I don't want Deion Jones.
What about Kirksey?
I'll take it.
Kirksey's real active. He's an active guy.
Yeah.
He's a guy who gets a lot of tackles.
Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, and I'm not freaking out over the linebacker position like a lot of people are, I guess, because their main defensive alignment is one linebacker.
And they play heavy nickel. They do 4-2-5. They play heavy dime. They play that cover 3. They're in coverage a lot of the time, and that's why they kept all them corners and safeties. And they were already talking about moving Bell, and Overshown was going to be that type of guy. And that's why I felt like even with Overshown there, if Overshown was healthy, Jabril Cox was definitely gone.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That sucks, man. That
Buffalo just got him. Damn.
No.
See?
Yeah. But I'm talking about Overshown. That whole thing I'm still bummed. I'm still bummed about that.
I can't.
I really am.
I don't even want to talk about it because it just hurts my soul, dog. What the type of impact he would have had on this defense this year as a rookie? Number one, you saw the ability. He had the size. He had the ability. But that enthusiasm, dog, I'm telling you, that enthusiasm that he had would have just really turned this defense up like no other. And it's just a shame, especially with the year that we're anticipating we want this team to have. The effect that he would have had on this defense would have been monumental. We would have been talking about going back and having a redraft with him, saying, how did he go to the 3rd round? He could have been a 2nd round or borderline 1st. But by the way he's playing, and it just hurts because, dog, the effect he would have had on the linebackers, the team would have just been monumental. So just kind of hurts right now. Go ahead.
I see a comment in the chat about LVE's neck. While we're on the subject of linebackers, I don't know how many people realize this, but LVE had a damn good year last year.
I say he's a surprise player. Yeah, he did.
Had a damn good year. As a matter of fact,
you used to kill LVE.
Hey,
LVE.
I give credit where credit's due. When he's healthy,
when that neck's healthy,
when he's healthy, he's one of the best coverage linebackers in the league, and he ain't scared to scrape. The only thing he doesn't do is play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. They don't ask him to do that, though. They don't ask him to do that, so that's why he doesn't have the tackles for loss and the quarterback hits and the sacks. They don't blitz him. We got Micah Parsons and Sam Williams and them other boys for that. Keep your ass out there in that flat, because when you're out there with the other dude, who we won't mention, who had one working leg, you had to cover for his ass too.
Yeah.
So when we lost LVE last year for a little bit, he literally had remember the with and without Sean Lee stats we used to get hit with? He literally had that on the defense. He was damn good last year. Damn good.
I mean, people be hating on him, and I thought he played at the beginning of the year. I felt we're seeing the same LVE, but he got better as the year went on. But I think getting Jonathan Hankins helped him because it helped keep him clean.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why you got the DT, right? Because they help keep you clean, and that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my guy right here, Dwayne Brown, always coming with the $10 hollers. Wife calling me for dinner, sending my support in case y'all off when I finish eating. We appreciate you, Dwayne Brown, like no other. Donation. He be going hard in the paint, always donating, and we appreciate you, Dwayne Brown. Thank you very much. But like you said, Mike, LVE, I think we had who would be a surprise player. We had a show with Best of Enemies, and we said who would be the surprise player. He was my surprise player this year, that he was going to be even better this year with his defense. I think he settled in. He signed a great contract. The team loves him. I think his teammates love him. I think he's a team player, and I think he's gonna be a good, solid player for us once again this year. And I think we should really appreciate what he brings to the table.
Yeah, because if you want to hate on him, okay, who else are we putting out there? I'm all ears. Who else is out there on the couch that's better than Leighton Vander Esch right now? Who else on the team's better than Leighton Vander Esch at linebacker right now? I'm all ears. I ain't trading for one. I ain't trading for no running back. These linebackers and running backs are the same thing. So
Harper is not better than LVE, and Clark ain't better than him yet. I think Clark has potential, but he's not better than him right now.
No.
He's not better than him right now.
We're talking about an actual proven NFL veteran versus.
And I mean, they crazy. But anyway, let's jump at these cornerbacks. Guy who we talked about was going to come off the PUP and was actually going to be eligible, and he was going to be ready. You said it. Jordan Lewis, was happy to see him back. He said he's ready to go. He's got no restrictions. So I'm glad to see that, because I think Jordan Lewis that was a great keep, and we needed Jordan Lewis. Now that I keep thinking about it, we needed Jordan Lewis in the secondary. We love Diggs. We love Gilmore. We love Bland. But doggone it, we need a Jordan Lewis on the damn team. Just that attitude, just everything he brings to the table. Everybody loves Jordan Lewis, man, for real. Like the personality he brings. And I'm glad we kept him back. Eric Scott, I knew we were going to keep because of the pick. What do you think about Nahshon Wright? I thought he was improving in camp. He had the injury. I thought he was playing pretty decent in camp. What do you think about him?
It was a reach at the pick, and
yeah, he was a reach, but he's always battled. I will say that.
And he's always battled. Good for him. He's always battled. That's about the player I expected. Not at that draft slot because you reached for him, but that's the player I expected to come out of the draft, and that's who you got. He plays like a 4th or 5th round.
He's really a 5th rounder because that's what I had him.
Yeah, I mean that is what it is. I mean let's just calling a spade a spade. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, he made the squad, so hopefully Nahshon, that was the right choice. Put up, boom.
Well, they're probably gonna make him the new gunner in Kelvin Joseph's spot.
Yeah.
So.
Probably. And now let's talk about that because we're getting ready to get to the Kelvin Joseph. Kelvin Joseph traded for Noah Igbinoghene. If I said it right, I might have said it wrong. I'm sorry, Noah. But what do you think? What's your thoughts about that trade?
It's trading an empty cup for an empty cup, but you know what? That other empty cup doesn't have a long rap sheet of being a knucklehead. So I'll take it. And from what I understand, Miami thinks that Joseph could play inside, and Dallas thinks that Iggy can play outside, so they're gonna move them positions, so to speak, and we'll see what happens with that. But I like the fact that we actually got a player instead of just cutting a 2nd round pick, like we tend to do.
Yeah,
we did literally before the playoffs last year.
Well, they're smarter. They're being smarter now. And once again, that's the Michael McCarthy effect, in my opinion, that they're being a little bit smarter. They're actually trading away picks. And before we hit the safeties, I just want to say this. Remember when we talked about this, Mike, about hoarding the picks with Stephen Jones, how he hoarded and hoarded and hoarded the picks? How many times have we talked on the show how he always hoarded the picks? Trade somebody. Go out there and get somebody and make the team better. And guess what? You traded, and guess what? The team is better already because you actually went out and traded some picks. You didn't hold on to them like Gollum, like it was your precious. You actually let go of the picks, and guess what you had when you wheeled and dealed? You got good players in return that are actually going to help this team be a better team. So it's okay, and hopefully they stay with that mindset of being aggressive, not being conservative. That don't work, in my opinion. Me and you both talked about that. Conservative don't work. Aggressive does, especially in the sports game.
You have to use every tool at your disposal if you want to be at the top of the league, because the team with the best quarterback in the NFL history is doing that exact same thing. They are not only are they arguably the best drafting team in the league, they are also one of the best front offices in free agency and player acquisition. So if you want to keep up, if you want to have a fucking shot, a puncher's chance at keeping up with Kansas City, you need to do everything in your power, every tool available to get the best team you can on the field. Period. And I don't care about no Philly. I don't care about division. I don't care about anybody in the NFC. If you want to get past Mahomes and them, you better load your mag with everything you got with hollow points.
Straight up. I agree. Because those guys are the ones that's in the way, and they got a good staff and they got a damn good coach. So that's what it is.
And they will blow your damn doors off. We saw it. We've seen it. They did it to the Eagles. The Eagles did the same thing San Fran did. They thought they had that shit in the bag. Oh, we got Tyson on the ropes. Let's do a little shimmy shake. Next thing you know,
right,
bingo, bango, bongo. And what team beat them? The team that did everything they could to win that Super Bowl. Everything they could.
They stayed aggressive the whole time. They stayed aggressive all season, still making trades because they weren't going to fall off just because they got there. When they got there, they said, we're going to get back and win. So I applaud them over there. And like you said, we got to come with everything we got to be able to get over that hump. So we'll see. Let's talk about these safeties right quick. Kind of no-brainer. We knew all these guys were going to make it. Kurz, Donovan Wilson, obviously, Malik Hooker, Mukamu, Marquise Bell. We talked about him playing more of the linebacker role that probably Overshown was going to play. Juan Thomas, he was a surprise, but he played damn good. He showed. One thing I liked about him is he had that Overshown type attitude where he was always he was cocky on the field. I will see him hitting people, and when he get up, he talking to them and getting in their face. Like, he had a swag, he had a confidence about him where you're like, okay.
Well, I mean,
and he backed it up with the talent.
The kid, and
how did he not get drafted?
I don't think I'm exaggerating. Actually, I'm not exaggerating here or being remotely hyperbolic. That kid might have the hardest upcoming since maybe Dez, and he may even have a worse one than Dez.
I read about it. It's crazy.
That he made $750,000 by making the roster. That is life changing. His whole entire family sleeping in the car. Like, if y'all don't know about Thomas, I'm sure everybody in the chat does, because we're all D-gens in here for football. But if you don't know about Juan Thomas, please punch his name into Google and read his story, and it's gonna rip your heart out. It is he had it so bad, and I'm so happy for him. I am so happy that he made it, dude.
I mean, I knew he was going to, but it's like that now that it's actually, that's why I didn't even put him in one of my 5 in, 5 out. Like, it was pretty much a lock,
so I didn't even worry about it. But I'm glad. I'm so happy that it actually happened.
Me too, and I'm definitely happy about that, and excited what he's going to bring to the table, because I love his energy, and I like you said, the story was amazing, and the fact that he, you could see his passion. He was like, it was kind of in his heart, like, hey,
it's out there, man.
I don't got nothing else. This is
it. All I got.
I got to do this.
Yeah, I grew up in a car after my dad tried to burn our house down with me and my mom and them in it. Like, fuck this. I'm playing. Man, about to make me cry in the club. Yeah. So I'm glad he made it, man.
Yeah. So super good that he made it. So I got the practice squad up here, Mike, right quick. Practice squad. We got the Sean Harlow guy from New York, the Giants. Malik Davis, we knew he was going to come back. McEwen, Jalen Cropper, I like him. That was the pick out of off on the West Coast. I like him. Earl Bostic, he showed a little promise. Tyron Johnson, he blew out his knee out, didn't he? Or no, he didn't blow his knee out. That was dude.
Jefferson went back to Houston, Bubba.
I thought we signed him on the practice squad.
Nah, I'm almost positive he went back to Houston.
I don't know, because I heard 2 reports saying that they signed him back, but we'll check on that, because I heard that we signed him back.
I haven't asked anybody. I was just scrolling timeline a little bit earlier, and I thought he went. Oh, he is on the practice squad.
That's what I said.
I thought he went. I thought he went back to Houston. My bad.
No, they said, I liked Malik, and I thought Malik Jefferson was playing well. I was mad he got hurt. I liked how he came out of Texas, and they kind of sat him on the team. You know, he kind of chilled last year, but I liked what he was showing in the preseason. I hope he gets well because I think
good
he
for
has
him.
something to offer. He has something to offer.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah,
that's my bad. For some reason, I thought he had went back to Houston. Maybe I just read it wrong. That's my bad.
So C.J. Goodwin, we knew he was going to come back somehow, somewhere if they could. I thought that Red Wine kid, I thought he was active. I like his potential. I like how he played. He was always trying to play hard, always trying to be around the ball. The Josh Butler kid was me. I was telling you about that. I liked how he played number 40. I liked how he battled, and I felt like they saw potential in him. And I knew they were going to kind of pick him up. The Tyus Sweet and Darrell Johnson, they weren't Isaiah Land, but Darrell Johnson wasn't bad. Okay.
There's something in there.
There's something in there for Tyus Sweet and Darrell Johnson. So as much as we hurt that we lost Land and it hurts, there's something there with Wheat and Johnson. There is something there. And even with that Princeton fan, that's a big boy. You feel me?
They like him.
They like him a lot, I heard.
He's like he's like their third tackle. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple, if you got a couple of injuries throughout the year that he doesn't slide on there for their jumbo package type thing that I used to do with
he's a big
governing them. Yeah.
So now I just put up the sign to the 53. Chuma, he made it through. I think they did something where they were going to flip it where they figured out something with him. So he's back on the squad. The long snapper Trent Seg is on the team. Injured reserve, the 4-game injured reserve. Nashawn Wright, Matt Willetsko. And then obviously we got right here, and this is from Patrick C. Walker. Claimed by alternate club Isaiah Land, which hurts. And I think he's going to get some burn over there with the Colts because they don't really have any pass rushers over there like that. So I think he's really going to get a chance over there, and he might be something over at Indy. I really think he might be something there at Indy. That just hurts because that was a guy. That was a guy. And if you could have kept him and had Overshown coming in next year, what the hell? Especially when you know you're losing Armstrong and you're losing Fowler next year probably. So those are two guys you could have been like, oh, we're good because we already got guys. So we probably don't got to go crazy in the draft.
And by the way, DeMarcus Lawrence will be 32 next season.
Yes, and that's not much longer. So we liked what they did on a lot, Mike, but that one
I'm well aware that Fowler made the team. I still disagree, and I will be right. And when I'm right with this team, it's usually a bad thing. So
yeah, pour one up for Lamb. I feel you. Pour one up for Lamb. Smoke one for Lamb. And then Dennis Houston made the New York Giants practice squad. Don't be telling no stuff over there because I know y'all are. Same with Jabril Cox. Y'all going to be over there telling secrets over there. And they're going to be asking y'all kind of secrets, what they be doing. Because I know that's why they love picking up our players, because they love our players and they love our secrets. So, hey, shout out to Dennis Houston getting picked up. Shout out to Jabril Cox. Shout out to Isaiah Land. We hate it, but, hey, we're glad that you got a job. No, I did not get your super chat, April. Where is it at? I'm looking for it. I did not see it. Yeah, try it again, I guess. I apologize about that. But that's where we're kind of at, Mike.
Yeah.
With the team, 53-man roster, you saw the practice squad, you saw guys that are with somebody else. And now it's time for the season, dog. September 8th, it goes down. New York Giants. What's your thoughts? Just what's your thoughts about the team heading into week 1? Obviously, we're going to talk again before week 1. But what's your kind of thoughts and your feeling about the 53-man roster and just your feeling on, Trey Lance, just team, all that, before we get off here?
I'm really nervous because this is the most optimistic I've felt about this team that I can actually remember. I guess if you want to take me back to 93 in them, but, I was 8 years old, so yeah, sure, it was, football, whatever. But as far as my football conscious, knowing actually what's going on in the league and everything, probably since 15, 16 years old, easily, this is the most confident I've ever felt about this team. And that terrifies the ever-loving shit about me. because I know that this team is allergic to expectations. If they're supposed to be terrible, when Dak got hurt last year, we were supposed to lose 6 straight till he got back. We ended up ripping some off with Rush, and then we come back and win 12 games when we wasn't even supposed to. You know, that because they punted last year. That's what a lot of people. That's the craziest thing about it. They absolutely punted on last year. You can't tell me they did. Dennis Houston out there is wide receiver 2 to open the season. I mean, that's crazy. The dude just got cut, picked up on the practice squad for a team down bad on wide receivers, was our number 2 wide receiver. That's absolutely insane the way they did that. And compared to what we're running out there this week 1, sir.
It's night and day. It's night and day.
Yeah.
It's night and day.
Yeah, it's literally what they did last year was malpractice. Absolute malpractice. That was borderline Will Grigson, Jim Irsay levels of malpractice. What they did to their quarterback last year.
Borderline malpractice. It was absolutely like a fourth down. And it cost us at the end of the year.
All we had was Pollard and Lamb, and you're going up against the Niners, the team built in a league to stop
the type of offense that Dallas runs. They're fast. They can spread out. Then we lose Pollard. CeeDee Lamb has 117 yards and 2 touchdowns to get our doors blown off. And I was nervous because
expectations. Because I know this team, dude. I'm damn near 40 years old. You know this, James. You know.
I know. That's why I'm being quiet, because I agree with you. I'm nervous as well because this is the most talented team I've seen since
the salary cap.
I mean, I'm gonna say like 07 was a very talented team too. 07 was a very talented. I'm gonna say since 07.
I wasn't
had a lot of talent.
I wasn't even confident then though, because I just got pulled out of QB purgatory. I was still kind of dope sick.
Well, I loved our season, but I was nervous when we got in them playoffs and we played them Giants. I was nervous as hell in that game.
Everybody talked about 2014, dude. We backslid in the playoffs. Sean Lee's hanging on to one leg. We lost Tyrone Crawford, and then we go up against prime Aaron. It's like, no, man, we don't belong here. Then look what happened. We got our doors blown off. It's this year, and we know we've talked about it several times. We've been talking about it since the end of last season. This year is the last year that you can confidently say that this team has a legit shot.
Yeah, because it's going to change next year.
They coincidentally
have the best shot that they've had in.
Okay, we can call it damn near 2 decades. I mean, literally. So, this is a once in a blue moon thing, man. It's not to sound like Stephen Jones, a salary cap league, and you've got Micah Parsons, his contract ain't hit. CeeDee Lamb's contract ain't hit. Terrence Steele's contract ain't hit. Dak's cap hit is still relatively cheap this year for a damn quarterback, considering how crazy everything has went. You got Tony Pollard locked up on a one. It's there. It's there. Can we please not lose 2 offensive linemen and a wide receiver in November like we do every damn year? Please. It's been the health, man. I mean, I know that Dak had a turd in the San Francisco game, but what do you expect? That's a better team. And Dak's not Mahomes. He never will be Mahomes. He won't. It's just not. It's just not the way things are. So when you lose that talent around you and you're up against a damn juggernaut, hell, Filthy wouldn't have got past them if they didn't lose Purdy. That game was cooked. Can we not play them? Can we not play San Francisco in the playoffs? Please? Can we please? Can that one thing happen?
I want to beat them, dog.
No, you said that last year. Look what happened.
Because I'm tired of it, dog. Because I don't like them, and we had them beat last year. 2021, they whooped our ass. 2022, we had them. We made the mistakes. Even when we lost Pollard, I mean, we made the mistakes. I'm gonna say we beat ourselves more than they beat us, dog, because we had bad turnovers. Trevin Diggs dropped a big turnover right, and then they scored right after that play in the end of deep in the fourth quarter. We saw our own mistakes. We were in our own way in that game because the defense played lights out. They had 9 freaking points in the fourth damn quarter. Brock Purdy did nothing. Christian McCaffrey did nothing. Debo Samuel did nothing.
We had nothing for him.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not sitting there saying I don't want to play them in the playoffs. We had them beat. We didn't have what we have this year. And so what you're telling me is our health. If we stay healthy and we play them with the healthy team with this, I feel a hell of a lot better because now we can challenge you with weapons.
Yeah, I agree. But we've talked about this, and I make this reference every time we bring it up. When I'm playing WWF Raw on the Nintendo 64, if I can reach over and unplug player 2's controller and go ahead and win that match, I'd rather have that than having to go.
I hear you.
I
hear you.
Why get your brains beat out, dude? Why couldn't we play the Giants?
You're right, but you know what? We had to win that. We had to win that division to get that draw. You feel me?
Yep. That's the unfortunate thing, Eli, that nobody will ever admit that even freaking Patrick Mahomes needs luck. He needs that drop pick. He needs that fumble to get picked back up. He needs that strip sack to get the ball back. He needs you need the injury luck. It's just you need a lot. Like I'm not going to say 70% of making the damn Super Bowl is luck, but it's up there, man.
It's like 50,
dude. It's up there.
It's like 50. It's half. Because most of that season is luck with the injuries.
Dude.
Because one injury could change the game. You seen
Dalton Schultz ruined our season by getting Terrence Steele hurt. I'm sorry. I'm going to be over that, but I'm not going to be over that. That dude, Tex-Mex slander, then you go out there and get Terrence Steele hurt on his damn contract year.
Well,
I'm not scared of no playoffs teams. I'm scared of the damn Niners. I don't want nothing to do with them. That's been the best team in the league the last half a decade. If they'd have had Dak Prescott, they'd have 3 rings right now. And I don't even think that's debatable. Quarterback's been the weak link of that team, and they still made it. They still made it all the way.
Coaching matters too.
Yeah, it does. It does. It really it does. And 6 days a week. 6 days a week.
Well, I'm praying for 7. I'm gonna go at it, and I'm going all the way in. So I hope it turns out that, and we're gonna see. But we're gonna have the whole ride this year as we get ready to end. Me and Mike are gonna be the whole year for this ride, so we'll be able to talk to you live in effect. We'll have probably our happy days where we're yelling on Monday, like yeah. Or we're gonna probably have a few of them days where we're like, man, what the hell are they doing?
Like we ain't even doing it today.
I'm sure we're gonna have that. But I'm ready for this season. I'm excited about this season, and it's time. It's time to make it happen.
You ready? Y'all ready? Everybody ready for the longest week of the year?
Yeah.
That week before the last preseason game, dude.
Right. A lot of talking gonna be going on. You know what I'm saying? But hey, let's get ready for these Giants. Let's get this game won and get this dub, and let's make it happen. But for myself, Big Game James, my dog Mike White, you see that at the bottom. Make sure you can check him out. Follow that on Twitter at Not2Be Great follow on Twitter. You know how we do. We'll be back here next week with the same burgers and blitzes. We had to have the emergency show for the final 53. And
we was always supposed to do 30, but
hey, it happens like that. When you got a deep crowd up in there and they want to hear you, we got to do it for the people.
I appreciate everybody swinging by. Sincerely, thank you.
We got to do it for the people. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody who stays with us faithfully. Love y'all. And make sure y'all always keep on supporting that Burgers and Blitzes. It's going down every Monday night. So, for myself, Big Game James, my dog Mike White, we'll be talking to you soon. Peace.
Peace. Later.
Holla.